There's already a load of videos out online about how Dune Awakening circuits work and what they are, but there's not much information out there about how they should be used or what practical applications they actually have, especially within a guild base or a base with a lot of players working together. So today I'm going to try and simplify circuits, because what I've noticed is a massive overcomplication of their use, which is causing headaches, which is causing things to go missing, which is causing resources to essentially get gobbled up very quickly and easily. So there's a few little techniques and tricks I want to show you. First of all, what the hell are circuits? Let's quickly go over this, because like I say, this has been covered to death already. In refineries and in storages, there are two drop-down menus at the top. The left one is the input, the right one is the output. Okay, so storages have it as well. Left input, right output. Okay, so for refineries, for example, they will pull resources from whatever circuit is on the left, and they will push resources to whatever circuit is on the right. Storages will receive resources from whatever circuit on the left, and they will push resources, or at least make available resources, to circuits on the right. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, there's a lot of mixing of terminologies and words and things like that that can make it a little bit confusing, especially if English is your second, third language, etc. But try and stick with me. Basically, we've got a medium ore refinery here. We're going to be pulling resources from circuit 1, and we are going to be pushing them to circuit 4. Now, if we had a box here on circuit 1 full, on the output circuit 1 full of ore, that's what it would be pulling from. Thankfully, I have a bunch of them downstairs, because as we know, circuit 1 is the default circuit. Everything goes on circuit 1. And the instinct is when you first learn about circuits, you want to create an intricate spider's web of input and output circuits for every resource. Stop it. Just stop it. Leave everything on circuit 1, okay? Because everything defaults to circuit 1. Your not only your refiners, but your fabricators as well. And you need a lot of fabricators. You're going to be increasing the number of fabricators as you go through the game. You start off with 1, you end up with 5, then you end up with 8. And all of these default to circuit 1. Okay, you don't need to output fabricators to any other circuit. Generally, when you're fabricating something, you'll build one of it, and then you'll just take it. Okay, the only thing that you'll generally need to output to a circuit is refineries. Things like the ore refinery, the chemical refinery, and the spice refinery when you get it later on. So that's what we're going to be playing with today. We got the chemical refinery, and we got some ore refineries here in a couple of boxes. Okay, so the chemical refinery again is pulling from circuit 1. I've got a bunch of things downstairs with resources in them, so we can do that. It will push to circuit 3. Have we got a box on circuit 3? Yes, this box's input is set to circuit 3. So if we produce a silicon block here, this pull resources from any box on circuit 1, and it will push the silicon block into this crate here, and there it is. Bingo. Right on time. Okay, now because the output of this box is circuit 1, anything that's pulling from circuit 1 can use this silicon block. Same goes for the ore refinery here. This ore refinery is pushing to circuit 4. This box is on the input of circuit 4. So if we produce a iron ingot, that will output to this box. There it is, right on time. And because the output of this box is circuit 1, if we then wanted to produce steel, it could use that iron ingot that we just produced to create steel along with the carbon. Maybe we don't want to do that though, or maybe we only want to do that a little bit. Let's scrap the chemical refinery for now, and just focus on ore refineries. I'm going to set this box also to circuit 4, but I'm going to change its output to circuit 7, something that I know the refineries or other fabricators are not set to. This has now become my backup box. What the hell are you talking about, Spanj? Well, let's have a little look-see at the recipes, particularly for the refinery here. Steel uses iron. We've already covered that. Duralumin requires aluminium. But you still need aluminium, and you still need iron to build things, craft things, so on and so forth. But there's a very, very dangerous button in this refinery that means that you could instantly lose all of your iron and all of your aluminium, leaving you without said resource. And it's this max button down here. This max button is lethal. This max button will take all the aluminium, or if it was steel, all of the iron, turn it into steel or duralumin, leaving you with none. Well, that's probably going to happen. And there's not really much you can do about that other than trying to trust people to not use the max button. Or splitting your refineries off and having them use the craft amount to split the amount they refine each time, which is no different from asking them to not use the max button. So what is the backup box? Well, let's say that this box is full, which it now is. I've consumed every single slot in here. Now, if I set another box to circuit 4 like this one over here, and then go ahead and craft my iron, this iron will arrive in my backup box. And because this is on circuit 7, this backup box is not going to get consumed. So let's assume that you have refined all the resources and you filled up your primary container or containers, because you can do this over multiple containers. But then you're starting to overflow resources into this box. And this overflow becomes your backup. And that means that if anybody does then use the max button on duralumin or steel or something like that, you can always go to your backup box and hopefully there's some iron or aluminium in there that has been created and has overflowed into your backup box. Okay, that is probably one of the only reasons that you really need to use an output circuit on your storage boxes other than one. Anything other than that, I think you're overcomplicating things like a lot. However, I'm always willing to be humbled, so do let me know down in the comments if you have some genius idea of why you would change your storage box outputs to anything other than one. Maybe you have overcomplicated things. Why? What's the reason? Let me know. I want to hear from you down below. But yeah, a backup box is generally, I think, a generally good idea because, like I say, it saves those resources from being absolutely eaten and swallowed up. The other option, like I say, is you can split your refineries off. So you could say you could output this one to circuit 5, and then you just get everyone to make some things in this refinery and some things in this refinery. And if you have a box set to circuit 5 that again is, you know, set to circuit 7 or something stupid that isn't being used, then you're splitting your resources 50-50. Some are going into a backup box and some are going into general use. In any case, either of those methods will save you, hopefully, from just suddenly running out of iron or aluminium or whatever. But there we go. That's circuits. I hope that's helped. And hopefully I've given you an idea or something that you can simplify your circuits and save yourselves a bit of a headache. I mean, when it comes to storages and logistics, I mean, it's generally personal taste about how you set that up. Personally, what I've got down here in my base is just a bunch of dump boxes. So I'll come back with the ornithopter full and I'll just F on all of these to quick deposit. And I've got my components and stuff like that. And all this is just on circuit 1. Except that one's inputting circuit 2 because that's what the chemical refinery outputs to. You see my lube and stuff goes into here. But everything is outputting, as you can see, to circuit 1. There's no craziness. There's no need to go crazy with the output circuits and storages. It's just overcomplicating things. And when you overcomplicate the circuits, you end up losing stuff. And that's the reason why I wanted to make this video. I know it's a little short one, but hopefully it's helpful. And there we go. Like I say, do let me know down below what your circuit setup is. Maybe you've got a good reason to make it complicated and things like that I haven't thought of. But hopefully, if you're just sort of trying to get your head around circuits, this gives you a general idea of how A, it works, and B, how not to just over-confuse yourself. They're very crude, they're very basic ways of automating your refinery to storage logistics. Anyway, like I said, I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.